all chime in and answer these as best as we can. So just, be patient with us, and I also wanna just remind everybody that this isn't something typical that we do at a, budget work session, but we did wanna do this as a courtesy to our citizens because people have lots of questions. So we wanna try to answer them as best we can, but also keep in mind, some of these we may not have an answer to. So the questions that we don't have an answer to, we'll take, a list of those questions, and we'll just update everyone at each meeting as we get answers. So we'll start with the first one. So I do see, and I wanna make sure make sure everybody's heard, and everybody that wants to be heard, you know, via us is heard. So some people, signed in, but they didn't have a question. I guess there was maybe a little confusion about the list. So some of you guys, I don't know if you want me to read out your name and your information. Okay, I see some heads shaking, I didn't think so, all right. So we'll just go to the first question, and it is from, James Jackson. James Jackson has a question about Haitian immigration issue. So as far as the Haitian, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Okay, so as far as the Haitian immigration issue, we don't have any information. I know there's a lot of things that have been going around on social media, and it's really just, hearsay. So we don't have any I don't have any additional information. I don't know about anybody else on the council. Laura, do you have any?
There's still very limited information to state and federal leaders concerning this.
Yeah, and then even Ben Robbins put out a statement, they don't have any information as well. But as soon as we do get some information, again, we're gonna keep these questions, we'll update you guys at each, council meeting, or each whatever meeting we have, we'll make sure to give updates. So there's also, Pam Andrews, her question was also about, no, I don't have to read the address, I'm just gonna read the names. I think you guys are good with me not reading out. Never mind, so I have to read it. So James Jackson, he's from 720 Cross Creek Lane. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
It's Pam Andrews, 102 Riverside Drive, also Haitian immigration, issue. This next one, I can't read it, it's, 308 West Stone Avenue, if you wanna tell me what your name is.
Rob Trice.
Alex, did you get it?
Rob Trace.
Alright. And it says, has there been money set aside for interpreters for next year's budget? You wanna explain, will you, just give me a little bit more information, please?
Law enforcement, or first responders come across, accidents or any situation. The city of Sylacauga doesn't have interpreters that speak Creole, French, and very few can speak Spanish. Same thing goes for our hospital, and also for our schools. With these newfound friends of ours, we need to find a way that we can at least interpret their needs.
Okay.
And undoubtedly, we don't have the money to, so I suggest that, we reach out to our government officials at the higher end that keep shipping these people here to not only fund them to be here, but to fund us fiscally to be able to interpret what their needs may be.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that further, explanation. Interim Chief Muse, do you have any, thing you would like to say on that?
Yes, ma'am, I do, and, thank you for the concern. You're right, Rondell Muse, nice to meet you. Just today, well, actually yesterday, we encountered, a group of them, and we tried to use Google Translate, same as everybody got on your phone. Well, even Google don't understand Creole a whole lot, so there was some misinterpretation there. So what we done just today, and I'm glad you brought that up, we got a hold of the consulate in Atlanta. We got them on the phone, we have their cell phones. We don't have to go through their office phone. We have their cell phones. They'll answer right up, we got the situation taken care of, no problem. In the meantime, exactly 3 weeks ago, I have an officer who have got a Rosetta Stone and is learning French and Creole. So you're right, well, we've been forward thinking on this.
Thank you, sir.
We got you.
thank you. All right.
The school system, I actually asked, Mike Rogers' office what the plan was to compensate our schools if we have an uptick in, you know, students that need translators.
Do you wanna chime in on that, Mr. Oz?
We have one additional student that requires additional English language interpretation and assistance. That's all we've had over the last couple of months. We have 3 this year, more than we did last year, but 2 of them already speak a language that we're able to assist with. We have 1 new student.
Good.
All right, thank you so much. So, Mr. Hinkle, you marked out your question. I just wanna be sure you don't want me to read it and, you're okay with us skipping over it. If Mr. Hinkle is still here, you marked it out. Is Mr. Hinkle still here? He's gone? Okay, all right, so we'll go on. The next person that has a question is Greg Patterson. He says, how can I prepare a question without knowing what's discussed? All right, I don't know how to answer that, Mr. Patterson.
Well,
Oh,
you
I'm
wanted us
sorry.
to prepare a question coming through the door, as I was informed, but my question was gonna be related to this discussion you were having, so I didn't know how to prepare a question for that if I hadn't heard what was on the agenda.
Okay, so do you have a question
Actually, I
that,
have 2 more of them.
okay, so, all right, Mr. Patterson, let me, say your address again, so Alex. is-
1005,
Fifth
fifth
place.
place.
All right,
Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
The last page is a question.
so you're gonna go ahead, so we're just gonna skip you until we get to you again. All right, Mr. Patterson, sounds good. Okay, so Crystal Pruitt, am I saying it right? Y'all forgive me, I can't see.
I'm the only Crystal, so it'd be Pat.
Pat, all right, and it says Lake Terrace, and it says, who is John Galt?
That's right.
Okay, I don't know, does anybody know who John Galt is? I'm sorry.
It's a great literature. See, my name's now over here. I had to recommend anybody read Atlas Shrugged and understand the society and the.
Say that a little louder, Crystal.
Everyone should read Ayn Rand's The Atlas Shrugged, and that is John Galt. It is a model citizen and how he works within the government, who is not a model.
Maybe you can write that down for us, Crystal, before you leave, so we can, look
Absolutely.
it up. Thank you so
I
much.
can even
Crystal.
text it today.
Okay.
Please do.
Sounds good. Okay, I'm going on down the list. The next person with a question is Jack Green. Jack says, last meeting, only one councilwoman said, let the citizens speak. Why only one? Is Jack Green here?
I am here.
Okay, Mr. Green. So you said last, I'm sorry?
I'm here for the record.
Okay, so you said last meeting, only one councilwoman said, let the citizens speak. Why only one? You wanna give me a little bit more information on that
Well, I
question?
saw it on video, there was only one person, when the people was up here speaking,
Mhm.
only one person said, let them speak.
Yeah. So
All
in,
the rest of y'all sat there like stumps on a log.
okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that we were
Disgusting, I see
stumps
that.
on the log. But in the last meeting, I felt that the meeting was getting out of hand, and that's why the meeting was ended. Because it is my job, I'm council president, I'm also a council member. I felt that the meeting was getting out of hand and it was becoming a little aggressive. So it's my job to not only protect myself, but everybody that was in here, and I felt it was the right thing to do to cut the meeting off. And that's why we're extending this courtesy tonight, because I know people don't wanna wait 2 weeks. Well, we know that people didn't wanna wait 2 weeks, so we're gonna answer any questions that we can as best we can tonight.
You were wrong. All of you were wrong.
I understand. Well, thank you for your comment. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so the next person is Peggy Murphy. Peggy lives, hold on, did I tell you his address? It's 206 South Elm Avenue.
Thank you.
All right. And that's for Mr. Jack Green. Did I miss one?
That's right. You good?
Okay, Peggy Murphy, 921 Sedgefield Drive, Sylacauga, Alabama. What plan is being put in place for the Taylor Estate neighborhood on Halloween? Last year, many residents were stuck in their homes and in, what does it say? Y'all know I can't read.
In case of an emergency.
Ah, that's a good question. So,
It gets crazy over there.
Yeah.
Y'all-
She was stuck.
y'all-
Are y'all still on the back side?
Yes.
I got you.
Y'all should
Yeah.
stop passing out the best candy, that's y'all fault. Alright, so I'm gonna,
I did talk, mention off our neighborhood page that I emailed, Rondell, and we were gonna meet up later this week, and I was gonna take a few members of the neighborhood with me, and we were just gonna see, cause y'all have done several things different over the past few years. And it worked out great when we had the option to park people at Valley View Church and get them across, but, you know, one bad apple and that parking lot was messed up and the church didn't want us over there, rightfully so, didn't want anybody parking over there anymore. So we just need to run through some scenarios and see what we can do with traffic control.
so do you have anything to add on that, interim chief views?
Well, I've, already just started talking to some of my team members, and we were looking at maybe, you know, one way in, one way out. I will have some additional officers in that area to facilitate either, stopping traffic on 21, or maybe get with DOT and see if we can block one lane for parking. It's hard to estimate how many people will show up, we just know it'll be a bunch.
And the thought I had was getting with, I don't know, maybe the Piggly Wiggly parking lot or somebody, and utilizing that parking lot and safe buses, and busing people in and have an interim cycle of people, a bus schedule, so to speak, to get them in and out. And, you know, have a last call for a bus, and everybody's gotta be cleared out by that time if they're at the Piggly Wiggly parking lot.
We may even need to start donating you guys some candy since y'all get the buckets of trick or treaters, so like over in my neighborhood, we don't get anybody, so we're just gonna start dropping our candy off to
I
y'all.
went through 1,000 pieces in about 2.5 hours.
But
If
right
that.
now, essentially, they're come, and like, so we'll all sit down and talk about this, but right now, the one way in and one way out seems to be.
And we did that at once with the Taylor State entrance, and then Sedgefield, and out was Magnolia. I believe so, and so that, we'll sit down together and talk about it.
Okay, so our next and final question is from Greg Patterson, 1005 5th Place. Why did you purchase nameplates, and shirts, $35 at Swin? What was, instead of shirts, $35 at Swin, what was the, you wanna help me out with that?
Allocation.
For licenses in the ARC budget. So, Mr. Patterson, you wanna go ahead and explain your question?
Sure. Since big discussion about shirts are being local, this is a name tag from Swin. It costs $35. Every person in this building could wear one. It says, here's the office that you work in, your name, and your position in that office. It also eliminates employees having to wash shirts every 2 days. And this can last. You don't have to allocate money every year for shirts for people who work here.
Well, that's a good idea.
I had a bad idea, Ms. Gray.
Thank you for that suggestion. And also, so,
And the other thing is, I might not have understood, but I heard something about allocating money for ARC for driver's licenses.
well,
Was that correct?
the people that they serve, yeah, it was on the list, Pastor B. So some of the people that they serve, they do help them get their driver's license, and when they take them, it comes out of their budget, they pay for it.
Why aren't we buying citizens' driver's license? Nobody buys my driver's license.
They're paying for the training so they can get there.
Yeah, these are, yeah,
The
you may,
training.
Yeah, at the school.
That's right. They're not buying the
I
license.
don't wanna say the wrong thing.
Special needs people.
Right, it's special you know, they get
I know,
additional help.
I know, I transport them there.
But there's a lot of things that they list, so the driver's license was one of the things that was on the list of things that she said they helped these people obtain. So that was just one of the things on the list when I considered the increase in their budget. And we can get you some further information on it if you would like. I know you would,
Yeah, I like to hear that.
okay?
How many besides you's on the board?
Okay, so that was the final and last question that we have, and I don't know about you guys, I do think, this went really well, and we wanna, thank everybody for coming out to the budget meeting, and we do appreciate you, and this may be something that we can just start doing in the future, so
We'll
that,
update for sure.
yeah, so we are gonna update on the questions, but I mean, I do like, you know, having the sign-in sheet when people come in, just in case they do have questions, and they know that they'll be addressed at the end of the meeting. So if there are some questions, that people do have, I'm gonna ask that Alex just leave a sign-in sheet in her office, and you can just come by City Hall, you can fill it out, write your question on it, just say you can't make it next time we have a meeting, you'll still have your question on the sheet for it to be read out and addressed.
But you can also still come to the meeting
Yeah,
at the
you can
end.
still come, yeah, you can
and-
still
and
come.
ask.
Yeah.
Concerns, yeah.
But just in case you can't, but, as we get, information on the questions that we weren't able to answer, we will keep everybody updated. So, is there anybody else who, oh, I did not, I almost did.
No, that's okay.
It's okay, I'm
I don't
sorry.
have a question. All I got is a statement. I wanna.
Well, you know what, Mr. Rice, you wanna come on up and read it since you're
No,
here?
that's not my matter. I mean, I didn't.
Okay.
But I just wanna thank the council, because everybody got mad the other night. I got shut down, and she did bring it back up. So we do have to say thank you.
Thank you guys
It's
for.
only fair to say.
Thank you guys for understanding, and we do appreciate everybody, and it's not our intention to, shut people up. We do want you guys to be heard, we wanna hear what you have to say, we want the feedback, whether it's positive, negative, whatever, I mean, we could all use it, and, hopefully, by doing the meeting this way, this is just gonna become a best practice to help us all. So, we wanna just thank you guys again so much, and hope to see you next time, it's nice to have.
Hope to see you Wednesday, we got more budget.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh,
6:50.